All right. So, if we had to practice today, Spencer Ware would be questionable. So, but we didn't practice today, so wasn't questionable. So we look forward to the challenge of playing the Chargers. This is kind of a go between from after the game to now, but we're deep into the Chargers, obviously, and we know they're a good football team, well coached, and they've got good players. So we've got to make sure that we take care of our business and prepare ourselves. And during a week where there can be distractions potentially, just with with the holiday, but from your normal schedule at least. So we'll work through that and make sure our focus is even a little bit greater, and take care of business there. So as far as the last week's game, I was proud of all three phases and how the guys played. That's important that we keep growing as a team. I thought we were able to do that. We've got to clean up some of these penalties again. They can come back and hurt you, in maybe a different situation. So we'll work on that too. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Is there a, I know you look at everything, do you think there's a correlation between a team going into the playoffs hot and a team that, lives to the line that makes the playoffs and then gets hot in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think you've seen probably everything, right? There's been every type of situation. I'm not sure there's a right way, wrong way, but I've been around long enough. I'm sure you have too. That you've seen teams that limp in and do well, and you see teams that are hot come in and don't do well or do well. So you can see both those things.
Andy, it seems like you guys are losing a running back every time you play a game with an injury. What effect has that had, do you feel like, on the running game, or if any, this year?
Yeah, well, what's kind of strange is if one gets nicked up, then another one steps up. So it's worked out okay. You surely don't want that to happen. We got a good nucleus of guys, and they all do it just a little bit different than the next guy. So we like the mix that we have, but I can't tell you that we don't have the running back. So you could be in this situation and not have guys that can carry the ball, but we feel comfortable that we've got enough guys that we've been able to kind of overcome that.
You feel like Damian Williams is as healthy or healthier than he's been all season long?
Well, he seemed that on Sunday. Yeah, he seemed like he was moving around pretty good. Timing seemed okay, but again, it wasn't that he had a number of carries, but not maybe as many as if you're the full-time guy going in there and doing it. But I think it was a good start for him getting back.
Obviously, you guys like Spencer Ware. He's played well for you in the past, and you brought him back this year. But maybe was he giving you guys maybe a little more than you anticipate getting from him at this point in the season?
Yeah, I'm not counting him out. So but he's been doing good. It's like I said, they're all different flavors. So every guy is a little bit different. He gives you that physical downhill, good protection guy. Not a lot. There's not a lot of flash. It's just good hard-nosed football. So.
They're still positioning to play for. So after the game, you go with the starters, obviously. Does anything change? Will there be any kind of Patriot scoreboard watching, or is there a shorter leash if you are able to get?
Yeah, we're going in to play and do the best we possibly can do. So that's how we're going to roll with it.
Andy, I'm certainly not saying that's what you should do. I'm just wondering what goes into the thing. Is it just the fact that seeding can change?
Yeah, there are things at stake. So you got to finish the season. Really. I've sat here on the other side. I've been sat guys. That's not the situation though. So you want to play to win, and that's what we're going to do.
As you sort of weigh the pros and cons, is one of them the fact that you guys are playing well and you want to keep that going as you head into the postseason?
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that. I've just said that there are things going here. Yeah, just that we need to take care of business with, and you never know in this business.
You mentioned the penalties, that you've had some kind of ups and downs with those this year. Has there been a thread on how they kind of crept back in?
I know. I mean, it seemed like it was a screen game, is what it was, and then jumping off sides late in the game from a defensive standpoint. So, you know, on the defensive side, we've been good with that. So, you just got to keep your focus, and then offensively, we got called for penalties on the screen game, so we got to take care of that. You know, keep hands tight and let go.
Your defense has gotten better. We've talked about that many times in here, about how you've seen it improve as the season's gone on. Has there been anything that's surprised you with some of your new faces, or have you pretty much gotten what you expected leadership-wise from guys like Frank and Tyron?
Yeah, well, I mean, you never know till they're here. So I'll tell you, I've been happy with what they've given us, and you know, and I'm not counting out Wilson. I mean, there have been a lot of new faces in there, so they've all kind of brought something to the team that is special in their own way. But primarily, there's been some good leadership. Yeah.
When did you kind of see it? I mean, like right away, or there's been a point in the season where you kind of thought, man, these guys are really bringing that part of it to you?
No, you could see the want to early, and the positive thinking, and trying to do the right things. I mean, you saw that right away. You know, I think he was put in that position, so probably a little bit more maybe than the other guys, and it comes a little bit with the position. It also comes with his personality. He's got that leadership, that innate ability to lead, and so he just kind of did what he does and naturally took that over.
What do you need to see out of Xavier Williams this week? I know this is the week when you can make a determination and keep him on IR or activate him. What do you hope to see out of him this week?
Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of things that go into it, Herbie. I mean, it's and Brett weighs all that out. I mean, I kind of stay out of that mix of it. So, I mean, he's got to juggle a bunch of different things with that, and that's kind of what he does. So, but we'll see. You know, we know he's a good player and gives us quality depth there. So, that's one of the things that Brett keeps in mind.
Andrew Wiley good to go?
Yeah, well, he was not on the list today. You know, we didn't practice, so still a bit tender, but we'll see where he is. But there's a chance, yeah.
Since you arrived in the AFC West, your interaction with Phillip Rivers on the field and even during the game, what strikes you the most about his passion for the game?
Well, that's it. I mean, he's passionate about it. He's maintained that throughout his whole career. You know, there's a certain love he's got for it, and he's a coach's kid, so he kind of knows what buttons to push and that. I mean, I appreciate that from. I think he's good for the game, good person, good family guy, works hard, all those things. He's been, you know, he's had a Hall of Fame career, so I mean, that's not too much more you can say than that. You know.
Andy, what did you see from Suggs the other night?
Yeah, I kind of liked what I saw. He's got good energy about him, and you saw the first couple rushes, and you know, easily guys get upset if they don't get a sack. That first rush that he was in, the first third down, he chased the quarterback from the pocket, was right there to take him, and then 5-5 got the sack, you know. So, I mean, he could have just gone, well, you know, but he laughed about it. He goes, man, I worked all this, my man here gets a sack. Well, good for him. You know,
A couple more guys. Coach, when looking at this Chargers defense, last time he faced them, they didn't have Derwin James. Just when going up against him, what kind of problems did he present?
31 or 33. So both of them good football players. And it's hot in here. Holy Toledo. Both of them are good. It's Christmas, man. Turn the heat down. Jeez. I think both of them are real good football players, and James, he's one of the best in the business at what he does. So I mean, he's physical, smart, tough, all those things. He covers a lot of ground.
Coach, back to Phillip Rivers. He's been pretty vocal over the last couple of weeks about the uncertainty whether he'll return to the Chargers this year. But how would you capture what he's meant to the AFC West and what it's also meant to you to prepare to go against him?
Yeah, well, you always know that he's prepared to the max to go against you. So he's covered all the bases. And then he's got that desire behind there, the competitiveness behind it. So you gotta make sure you do your homework when you get ready for him. And he's been there a long time. I mean, you think of the Chargers, whether it's San Diego or LA, obviously you think of him. And he's a great player. So.
Last question.
The regular season would be at an end, and there'd be a lot of coaching things going on. I know you've talked a couple of times about Eric, and you got a couple of interviews last year. Have you done anything with him this year to get him more prepared for that head coaching thing, like I know you've done for some of your offensive guys in the past to be able to put that part on their resume?
Well, I mean, it seems like play calling is always the issue. He called during the preseason. He helps me with all the setups. I mean, the only reason I do it is because I enjoy doing it. I don't enjoy this, but I enjoy that. It's one of those things. So, but if that's the issue, that shouldn't be an issue. But most of all, you're going to get a leader of men, and that's what he does. And he knows football like the back of his hand, and he's passionate about it. Great person. So I'm a big fan of his. Don't really want to lose him, but I have a feeling that's going to happen. But somebody's getting a championship caliber coach there. So.
Andy, whether a guy calls the plays or doesn't call the plays, do you think that's a big deal in your opinion to somebody hiring a head coach? Is that
I don't.
necessary?
No, I don't. I never called a play before, I became a head coach. So I mean, I was a line coach, So really, so I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't even a coordinator. So I mean, it was. So you're talking probably the wrong guy on that. I think that's way overrated. But yeah.
Sir, how long were you into your career in Philly before you started calling the plays? Right away?
Yeah, right away. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, good.